Mount Arrowsmith Biosphere region was designated in 2000.
We're one of 2 biosphere reserves in British Columbia and one of 18 across Canada.
Nanoose to Qualicum Beach, from Mount Arrowsmith, the mountain itself, right out into the Salish Sea.
We were of the land. We harvested here, we hunted here, we raised our children here, we did everything here. We were part of the land.
The protocol, the customs. It is our teachings when you go to anyone's traditional territory, like when we begin the opening meetings to acknowledge where we are, who you're with amongst the round table.
We didn't have a roundtable meeting until Indigenous communities were at the table.
It's really a learning curve. We're all still learning from our perspective. And my expectation is that we'll be able to pursue more aspects of reconciliation as we learn more from our First Nations neighbors.
Reconciliation would be almost sitting back and listening and maybe learning something from them and maybe trying to get a feeling of, I wonder what it's like to live in your shoes.
If you're going to invite people to step forward and exchange, you've got to give them the time and the space to do that. And what it does, in my perspective, is allow us to be prepared for those more difficult decisions. We understand each other at a different level and we're prepared to talk in a different way.
It is a unique opportunity because you have everyone represented from local government to First Nations and timber companies. And I think it's really important that we all sit down and talk about the things that affect us all.
Reconciliation is more than a buzzword. It is indeed a long-term action. It really is, how do we do this in an ongoing basis? And it really is cultural change in quite a profound way.
An example of reconciliation relating to action is the Snanaws First Nation Garden Project. One of the students who's working with the Mount Arrowsmith Biosphere Region Research Institute is heavily involved in a spiritual garden project at Snanaws First Nation.
So what we hope is that at the end of this we have a beautiful story which can show how these connections were made, how these partnerships were built, all through this round table, through the Biosphere region, and share that story with other communities in hopes that the same types of things can happen elsewhere.
I think the success of the roundtable is demonstrated by the fact that people show up time and again.
We find that it's an exhilarating process, one we're committed to and actually look forward to every time we have a meeting with our stakeholders.
The roundtable could be and should be a model for other groups everywhere.